family life of someone who is a content creator, college student, and also a business founder. So I've been doing this for the past 8 years at least. That's what I'm saying. Publicly, so almost a decade of really just doing this, which gave me some insane or unusual insights that I'm going to share with you, that you can literally do the same with all of these informations. And these are all based on the statistics of me tracking and actually analyzing the entire period. I promise that after this video, you'll be able to have a good family life as well as doing what you want, even if it's more than one thing. And the way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to give you the story, give you the lessons, then I'm going to give you the secrets of mine. So, as a very young, and it will all make sense in a second, as a very young man, I was 6 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old. I was always family oriented. So I didn't grow up with a father. It doesn't look like something that is uncommon nowadays. Okay, fatherlessness is always everywhere. But the thing is, whatever it is, I didn't have a father. So my father was alcoholic abuser, whatever. I didn't see him since I was 3. The thing is, I was like, that also made me that I understand the essence of what is it to be a man? How is it masculinity? You know, all the difference, especially because I grew up in a competitive environment of a neighborhood of 30 men, 30 males. We were literally competing with each other on a daily basis, so we can only think about it. So I have siblings, I have my responsibilities, and just when I grew up, I always have them in my life. The thing is, you know what's crazy? The craziest thing about AI that literally concludes my family as well as doing all of this stuff, from business founding to content creation to being in college, is I gave AI, ChatGPT, I told him, look, I have all of this data, etc., and it was always going with this conversation. I told him, tell me something that I have to know. It's like, what do you think it is? He said, it looks like one of the biggest things, like your family. It's like your family plays a role in your life, and you have also these. It's like I just found it very weird that I didn't think that ChatGPT will actually talk about this. But the thing is, I gave him the data, so he's like, that's why he is. But the thing is, it's like family is just as important as everything else. And in fact, because I'm so lucky to have an insane of a family. I have great of a family. My siblings are awesome. Like, stuff that I do are just literally inspired by my siblings. My older brother is my business mentor. He gives me all of the advice that I say. It's like most of the stuff that I do comes from one way or another from my business mentor. In fact, I talk about him all the time. And I follow what he says. So if he's going to tell me like some business insight, I know that he will not gatekeep on me. Okay? So I better believe my older brother and my business mentor than just believe some guru on YouTube. That's what I see it. Now I have also my sister. My sister gives me the emotional intelligence. I understand how emotional intelligence is also important. She supports me all the time. Right? Like there's times where nobody's caring about my videos, right? My sister will be there, she's commenting, she does not wait for me to actually respond to her comments. It's also a thing. It's like just unconditional support. Awesome. And I have also my other brothers. My middle brother is an amazing guy at networking. When we speak about networking, he has the power to network with whoever he wants. At first I said, what? It was like, what the thing that made you do this? Then as I grow up, now I understand the power of networking. That's what I use. I ask myself, like, what my brother does. It's like, okay, I've been with him this day. Oh, he remembers the name. I'm going to remember the name. Right? I've been with him and he says, well, I was just with my friend, Dave. Who's Dave? Oh, this man, like a few minutes ago. Dude, what do you mean by your friend Dave? You understand? It's not like trust issues, but it's the ability to network very fast and with whatever you want, whoever you want. That's an ability that I just got recently, and actually the source of it was my brother. Now that's all my siblings. Now, my mother. My mother is my mentor in life. Right? My mentor in life, and she's literally carried the entire family for my entire life. I'm telling you, she carried the entire family. We're speaking like fatherlessness, etc. And now we do not live in the US or some advanced country or anything. So we don't have those, insane whites. We don't have any insane environments. It's a third world country, etc., etc., etc. You can go down that line. I'm not going to go there. Thing is, she carried an entire family for an entire lifetime. People talk about entrepreneurship. People talk about how to build a company. My mother's company was actually us. My mother's company was us, was the family, was the children. It's like when I see myself, I understand that I was the product of my mother. I realized. You see, at the beginning, I was always saying, and even now, I say that my name is Yasser Moradi, the son of Hafeda Al Khair, because I know how important that is. And you have to repeat that every day of the week, every week of the month, every month of the year, every year of a century, dude. Because of how important it is. You see, I'm always talking about how company grows, how company gets built, what are the fundamentals, we're talking about books, we're talking about this. The thing is, my mother's company was us. And that's what makes the difference between people. So if you are a capitalist or whatever it is, you have to comprehend that other people's companies are not necessarily what your definition of a company. My mom was a successful entrepreneur just like everyone else. It's just she has, the company was us. Most people didn't know that. I did. And that's enough. For me, I understand that any day of the week. And just like for all of these entrepreneurs that we hear about all the time, they literally sacrificed everything to make their company work. My mother sacrificed everything to make her company work, who is us. We are the company. We are the project. We are the product. And also we are the customers. So, you see, here I can speak for very long. In fact, I can speak for very long, and it's gonna get just personal and personal and personal and personal more. But here you can just think about how life could have been with just the information that I just told you. The thing is, like, I have great siblings, but my mother's company is us. When you see me doing something, understand that I am the son of Hafeda Al Khair. She built me. She's my life mentor. She's my life mentor. You know what that means? She literally mentors me in how to navigate life. Right? So when I call her, when I talk to my mother, I know she will tell me something that I'm not doing. And she will tell me what to do. Now, I'm going to speak about other stuff. I'm going to just speak as like, now you understand how the family foundation is just as important as anything else. I'm going to speak about the aspects. Once you look at every entrepreneur, there's always the family aspect of it. Whether it's with or against. So you see Elon Musk had a great family. People don't know this. It's like Elon Musk's grandparents, if there's one thing that you have to know about Elon Musk's family, is that they were not all, most of them were actually very interesting of characters. His grandparents literally were pilots. They bought a plane and his grandfather died in a plane. He was giving classes to this person who wanted to learn how to fly, and he died. I'm pretty sure he died going to Australia. That's what I remember from reading the biography. The thing is, they were interesting. He has also a pilot degree because he literally learned it when he was making SpaceX, because he wanted to know how aerodynamics works in real life, so he understand it more. So he took pilot classes, and I'm pretty sure he bought a plane too. But the thing is, his family are interesting. His mother is a model. His father had a fortune, but only for a period of time, because he lost it all at some point. The thing is, he is interesting. His brothers, his sister, whatever, his cousins too, all of that. And also his father was not the best father that you want. In fact, when you hear I'm not here saying bad stuff. I'm here quoting literally the book, okay? So let's clear that. In the book Elon Musk, they speak about how his father actually had a bad effect on him. But, to make this clear, also that will build him. According to a lot of lines in the book, so Elon Musk's wives and girlfriends, etc., they speak about him and they say, the effect of his father is still in him up to this date. They say because when he was young, his father was, shouting at him, whatever. It's like in those times, he had to shut off emotionally. He stops, like his emotions just get erased for that period to be able to survive. And obviously in addition to other stuff. But like in order for him to survive, he had to go through that mode. And that mood, they say that he actually gets into that mood in so many times. You feel him that he's disassociated, he's just disconnected from his emotion. So that thing that he actually has happened to him with his father actually has helped him. And he has made him, and that's an amazing perfectionist of an example, the quote that says, it's not about the circumstances, it's not about me. So Elon Musk actually had that. And he had it more than one time. And actually in the book, it shows how deep of an impact, how it had on Elon Musk. Now we understand this for big people. And even like I've seen the quote from Steve Jobs, but I'm not going to go all in about it. He just talks about like his real parents and whatever that situation, I'm not going to go through there, but probably Steve Jobs had a situation like this. Because if you don't know, Steve Jobs was adopted. Okay, so the thing is, like all of these things, happens everywhere. The thing is, not this, but there's voice calls. There's one of the most important voice calls that I had about family. It was with this content creator that I know. He's a successful content creator. He's doing good. He's living in Europe, whatever. He's doing what he wants, right? We were talking and I was telling him, he was asking me, I said, you know why? There's stuff going on and stuff like that. He said, look, listen. I was listening. I was intrigued because he doesn't do that all the time. He said, look, family situations are always going to happen and happen for everyone. I said, okay. He continues and he says, what matters is not what is happening in your family situation, but what you're gonna do anyway. And he said, okay, this makes sense. And he was speaking about it. Listen, dude, everybody has a family situation. And I know that God knows his family, etc. Know what's happening. But the thing is, he was actually correct. And it's not really about family situation, but it's like in everything. It's like when you make it about you, not about the circumstances, your mindset sort of shifts. You say, now I understand. Now it makes a lot of difference for me. It makes sense. Once you see Elon Musk, when he was in his childhood, so there's nothing about him being worth $200 billion. But he was in his childhood, he was getting beaten up all the time. So it was not about the circumstances, it wasn't about him, and that's why he was learning to adapt to it. And he was actually hitting them in the noses, etc., etc. But the thing is, it wasn't about the circumstances, it was actually about him. If there is one important lesson that I learned from all of the biography stories that I read in the past almost a decade of me doing it, will be that everyone has a motivational story at the beginning. It means they go down, then they start going up. They go down, and that going down depends on the person. It's like, seems like Jeff Bezos didn't have the going down of Elon Musk. It's something like that. It's like everybody's different. But they usually start down and they climb their way up. So they know how is it to be down. You know? They know it's different. When Elon Musk was fighting, you know how he knows. Like even in his podcast with Joe Rogan, I'm making so much examples of Elon Musk because I know his story so good, and I just recently, about 1 or 2 months, read his book. So I'm gonna give something and I know it's real. In his Joe Rogan podcast, which actually made talking about this, he said, most people don't know how is it like to be hit in the face, except if you do. It's like if you've never fought, you should probably fight just to learn what's the meaning of getting hit in the face. And that's part of his book. And the thing is, it's not about getting hit in the face, but it's about it's like he knows it there. But also he makes it as a motivation to actually get the stuff that he wants to get done. It's a different mindset. It's a different pedestal to think about. Now we understand that there's a lot of mental frames that when it comes to this subject, and it's actually complicated, but whatever. You have to comprehend this. It's like one of the best and strongest bond that you will ever have is with your family. Because it's not only because of the unconditional love and unconditional trust and the unconditional loyalty. It's like your siblings know that you're going to give your life for them, and you know that they're going to give their life for you. You know that it's a life bond. It's a life trusting bond. Obviously, I'm not saying that all families like that, but it depends on what you are. It's like if you're not ideal, but it's just like if you are in a family, you should have that. If you're not in a family, you should have that too, because that's just how human relations work. So, I heard this quote from a lot of people. I'm going to say two, but first I'm going to give you the principle. They say the best people to make business with are actually outside of your family. Even better, if you make the rules, if you deal with someone in your family, but you treat him as if he's not in your family in the business. So business is business. There's no relationship in there. It will literally give you the highest ROI, return on investment, because you trust him, you know he's loyal, and literally can trust him with everything. And I've seen that with, obviously, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate. There's two big superstars, and they're famous, etc., etc. But the thing is, they're two brothers. We don't see that all the time. We don't see that all the time. But also, you understand how brotherhood works. It's like, I understand how brotherhood works. But not everyone knows how brotherhood works. It's like when you see Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, they say all the time, it's like, I'm ready to be with him in anything. It's like, we built it, and we will build it all over again any day of the week. And I'm happy to be with him in this situation. Thing is, not everyone has that. And also another one, I'm pretty sure Alex Hormozi says this, is like, if you're going to do someone, it's like if you're going to do business with someone in the family, you better treat him as if he's not from the family, and that will give you the best. Like, he will be the best employee, etc. Because you know he's from your family, it means you can trust him. He's loyal, etc. He wants to make it work just like you want it work. Or close, like he's going to be the highest, ranking. However, on also the other side, you have to treat him as if he's not from the family, because at the end of the day, it's business. He has to drive. He has, drive sales, drive whatever. He has to actually put in and be resourceful. He has to put in the work, put in whatever it is. It's like he has to do the work too. And it's not like you're gonna get paid because just you were our family member. But no, it's like you have to put in the work just like everybody else. And that's why they say you have to treat someone in your family, but you have to treat him as if he's not from your family, and that will give you the highest ROI. Now you're going to ask yourself, well, sure, now we've understand that everybody is coming from a different family standpoint. In fact, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's like a lot of people seem that they actually succeed and they started from not the ideal family standpoint, and that's why, like, you see, everybody is fatherless nowadays. PDB is talking about it, right? PDB, Patrick Bet-David. He talks about it all the time. He said that fatherlessness is something, he's like a course or something, but I've seen him talking about it. It means like it is important. Iman Ghazi is fatherless. Jimmy Mr. Beast is fatherless. Yeah, that's something of a big deal. This is something of an importance that people always talk about. But it's like everyone has different lifestyles when it comes to family life. But if there is one thing that I have to take from the entire family lessons that I got in my life about family, is the quote from my friend, the content creator who lives in Europe. He told me, look, everybody has a family situation. It doesn't matter what it is. It just matters what are you going to do regardless. So that mental state just makes you actually want to do the stuff that you have to do. If there's only one thing or one principle that I have to follow in my entire life, is someone in your family are the most trustful, most loyal, and better. And if it is a business, you deal with them just like anyone else. Because you trust them, and also because you're dealing with the business rules, that means they have to also do the work. And that's really what it is. And look, you have to comprehend that although I'm speaking about all of these topics, you have to comprehend that really, like what I've told you right now is the way in order for you to actually balance your lifestyle and at the same time do whatever it is. Like you find a business, you create content, you be in college, you do whatever it is. And you have to understand that there's always a family life out there. And if there's one thing that I believe in when it comes to a family, one thing is behind every great man is a woman. That's also true. And it doesn't have to be your wife, by the way. It's like for me, I have my mother. That's the woman that built me. I'm her product. I'm her company. And that's what it is. And as I promised, you can literally balance your family life right now and the other stuff that you do immediately with no problems. Even if it's content creation, being in college, and also finding business. And what you've seen here, you can never unsee it. So might as well subscribe.